Sometimes it can be very complicated to choose a digital mailbox. Like those service providers, those digital mailbox providers, they're trying to razzle dazzle you, trying to confuse the hell out of you. And in the end, you have no idea how to really pick the right digital mailbox for you. By the way, virtual mailbox, digital mailbox, they mean the same thing. So in today's conversation, I will clear up everything for you. I'll give you the tools, I'll give you the hacks you need to have so that you can make the best decision for your business, for yourself. It doesn't matter whether you're trying to really protect your privacy or you are a digital nomad traveling somewhere in Bali or Punta Cana. You're just trying to have fun and just trying to chill. So let me give you an overview here. You need to understand that virtual mailbox services are quite similar, but there are features and benefits to look for when it comes to what's really best for you. Okay, so here is the overview I really want you to pay attention to. Number one, you need to pay attention to the number of addresses. Again, those players, sometimes they try to confuse the hell out of you. Make sure you ask them point blank, ask them, how many addresses do you have and in what cities? Because when you really think about it, boss, it's all about location, location, location. I mean, if you're somewhere in a very small town in a rural, I don't know. I don't want to use any state because I don't want people to actually be pissed off at me. But I mean, if you have an address on Fifth Avenue in New York or on Wall Street for your business, it's more prestigious than having an address in a rural area in somewhere like on the countryside, right? So location, location, location. Although things are changing in the virtual world, there are still benefits to having your business address in a prestigious location. Okay, so some digital mailbox providers offer multiple addresses to choose from, including vanity addresses like Fifth Avenue or Wall Street in New York. So vanity addresses typically cost a bit more, but they may pay off down the road, especially if you have a business and you're trying to impress your clients. Okay, this is important. By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. And so number one, number of addresses. Number two, make sure that they have a mobile app for smartphones, because you don't want to be glued to your computer all the time. You want to have a service that allows you to check your mail on the go. So it's very important. A mobile app typically allows users to receive notifications, forward mail, shred mail, or do full page scanning directly on the phones, which is convenient for those who regularly sort through email on their devices. The third thing I want you to pay attention to when it comes time to pick a digital mailbox is to look for check deposits. Okay, some digital mail providers provide check deposit services. What that means is that they basically will take any checks and send them directly to your bank, which is really good for deposit, of course. Typically within 1 or 2 business days. You have to pay the postage, but some services will allow you to consolidate multiple checks. I mean, really, based on our research, this is a lot better than actually asking a family member to deposit for you a check for $10,000, okay, or $20,000 or 100 grand, whatever. It's just better to ask a third party, such as a virtual mailbox service, to do it for you. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about what to evaluate when picking a digital mailbox. So what should you evaluate? What should you assess when choosing a digital mailbox? So number one, the number of addresses and the variety of addresses. Okay. Number two, make sure they have a mobile app for smartphones, if that's important for you. Number three, check deposits. Number four, account security. So perhaps the most important barrier to opt in for a virtual mailbox service is the security concerns, right? Things like tax forms, credit cards, personal notes, incoming checks, and other correspondence are not things we want to share with anyone off the street, including family members. So as a result, many digital mailbox services take the time to explain their security protocols for both their digital mailbox interfaces and physical locations. So when researching, you want to look for high numbers for digital encryption, so the higher the better, and you want to look for 24/7 monitoring of all mail handling areas. This is so important, okay? Don't actually underestimate this, especially if you are in an area where data safety is really important for you. Like you really care about the safety of your mail. You really want to make sure that your mail doesn't actually end up in the wrong hands, literally. Okay, so make sure that you ask them point blank, can you explain to me your account security protocols? And they have to be really clear. Don't allow them to razzle dazzle you, trying to confuse the hell out of you. The next thing I want you to pay attention to is mail storage. This is a biggie. When we talk about digital mailbox, you need to understand. You're probably thinking, well, why do I need mailbox storage? Well, the thing is, the mail you'll be receiving, that mail will be scanned, will be stored. Now, anytime you scan the mail, right, it takes space. So you need storage. So you really want to look for a digital mailbox provider that has unlimited cloud storage. If you have that, then you are good to go. Now, a lot of them, they will charge you extra. They'll tell you, hey, listen, we give you a 2 gigabyte of storage for free, but after that you have to pay for overage. So be very careful about those things, because there are some types of correspondence that really are heavy when you scan them. For example, anything legal. If you have a court order or something coming from a lawyer or whatever, those things take a lot of, like, you have thousands of pages or hundreds of pages. That's a lot of pages. When you scan them, they take even more room. Okay, so be very careful about that. Now, digital mailbox companies will hold on to your physical mail for a set amount of time at a fixed cost. And many services offer no charge for 30 days, and some allow up to 3 months to let your mail collect. Packages are usually held at no cost for less time, which makes sense because they take up more space, right? Because again, I mean, a digital mailbox is a business. They're probably renting the place also, or if they own the place, they're paying mortgage on the place, so they still need to monetize this feature. Okay, so it's really important when considering your plan. You want to be aware of the amount of time you'll have when it comes to getting your mail sent somewhere else. Okay, you want to set reminders for yourself to get the mail forwarded in a timely fashion, or the virtual mailbox provider will charge you a fee. So, and this fee again can be very, very high, especially if we are talking about heavy, bulky correspondence, like the ones you receive from authorities, from the courts, or from like anything that has to do with the legal process. Okay, so be very careful here. Or if you deal with banks, like if you have a loan, or if you have a line of credit or a mortgage, those actually create some kind of bulky correspondence, so be very careful. The next thing I want you to really think about is the integrations. Now, you might be thinking, well, why do I need integrations? The thing is, nowadays, we work with a constellation of tech tools. We have applications here and there, especially if you are a digital nomad, if you are a small business owner, you like to travel from one city to another. You like to dine today in Paris and actually wake up the next day in London. You like to actually party in Malaga, Spain, and then wake up in Milan. If you are that kind of person, then you need to think about integrations. Why? Because you might be working with multiple apps, and if you have a virtual mailbox that does not integrate pretty well with all the other tools in your tech stack, this will be a problem. Okay, it's really important. Let me give you an example. Let's say you have a QuickBooks. You have QuickBooks for your accounting and for your billing. Let's say you are a creative. You are a digital creative. So you are a graphic designer, and you basically design logos, and you design all kinds of graphic designs, and you bill clients. But you use QuickBooks for your billing, okay? And the clients will pay you via checks. For example, they actually send a physical check to you, but you are somewhere right now. Your ass is somewhere in Bali, but they send the checks to somewhere in Idaho. Now, if you have a digital mailbox provider that has integration with QuickBooks, they can quickly just scan the mail, scan the stuff, whatever, the checks deposited, and just connect their system to your QuickBooks, so that you don't have to enter physically again how much the client is paying you for. Okay, so everything is done automatically. This is really important. Now, I just give you one example. Imagine if you have tens of clients, then it's really important to have the right integrations. Okay, some digital mailbox providers offer unlimited data, free data storage, but others limit the amount of data they hold for you based on time or file size. With a digital mailbox integration, you can take responsibility for and store your data on a chosen server. So if you or your business receives a lot of important physical mail that you need to retain, integrations with a storage service like Google Drive, Dropbox, or accounting software like QuickBooks is beneficial. Especially for large quantities of mail, it's one less thing to worry about in keeping files available and secure. Let's talk about overage fees. This is another thing that I think I was kind of talking about it before, but now I really want to drill down a little bit more. So the thing is, when we talk about, so what are overage fees? See, if you take storage, for example, those digital mailbox providers, they're telling you, hey, listen, we will hold on to your mail for 30 days. That's the physical mail, okay, for 30 days. And after that, we'll start billing you maybe $10 a day or $1 a day, whatever. Now, so that's what the one way of doing this. They can also say, listen, we'll scan your mail. We'll actually save it on our server, on our cloud service for you. Remember, they're paying maybe Amazon, AWS, they're paying maybe Microsoft, or they're paying Google for the cloud storage. So they might tell you, hey, listen, we'll give you 2 GB of free storage. Beyond that, we'll have to start charging you. So you do have overage. You have a constellation of overage fees. Okay, so read the fine prints, in particular when choosing a service with a low cost entry point. Very important. When choosing a service with a low cost entry point, you should also understand the fees associated with services outside the package agreement, because the low cost entry point, that's how they kind of get you, so to speak. That's how they lure you in. That's how they razzle dazzle you. So now you're in, then you start paying more. So most mailbox services have additional fees beyond the basic mailbox. The good thing about this structure is that you only pay for what you need. However, high overage fees for receiving individual mail will make getting junk mail annoying and costly. So check the fine print to check if to actually see if junk mail is included against your mail scan counts. Okay. By the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about what to evaluate when choosing a digital mailbox. Okay. So you always want to start with a good idea of how much mail you actually receive in a month when choosing from a tiered service plan to avoid overage fees. You also want to be diligent in timing the shipping and forwarding of your mail to prevent storage overage fees. So look for providers who allow you to bundle mail together instead of sending them individually. Very important, okay? So those are little hacks that we have actually learned. Our team has learned over several years by doing trials and errors. Let's talk about the price. This is another important criterion. Basically, those are the virtual mailbox providers, and they're not the charity, so they have to charge you. So it's really important to understand that at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, how important is my mail for me? How important is the handling? How important is the convenience? Like, because see, I spoke earlier about the fact that if you are a digital nomad traveling somewhere from Paris to New York, I mean from Paris to London, and enjoying the best of your life professionally and privately, you should be able to be ready to pay for the convenience, right? So digital mailboxes are not a particularly spending service, but prices vary significantly based on the volume and the constellation, that's just the variety of services. So there are two things that you need to pay attention to: the volume of mail and the variety of services. That's what we call the two V's: volume, variety. Volume of mail, including junk mail. Remember, junk mail can be very costly if you don't have the right settings for it. Okay. The variety of services. Do you want check deposits? Do you want mailing? Do you want scanning? Do you want forwarding? Do you want storage? What do you want? Okay, so you always want to consider as well overage fees in your calculations. Generally speaking, digital mailbox services cost between $10 and $30 a month, depending on the volume of mail received. Add-ons like vanity addresses, virtual office services, phone lease agreements, and registered agent services will also add cost. Okay, and there are even services that can give you a real physical workspace in an office building where you can meet with clients. Like us, this is kind of similar to those co-working spaces. Okay, however, those services can be very pricey, and a low-cost plan will do the trick for most people. However, there are options if you want to expand your business into a new state, change your, let's say, your state of residence to help reduce tax burdens. Okay, so you could also think about that if you are looking for a virtual mailbox service. So this is really important to think about the constellation of services that are available out there, so that this is not just for someone who's trying to travel the whole world and just chill while working. No, you have people who are here in the States and they can also use this to their advantage. Number 9, I want you to really pay attention to safety. Safety is so important. Now, the big question is, are virtual mailboxes safe? The resounding answer is yes. Yes, and we've been researching this for many, many, many years, okay? So virtual mailboxes are safe because companies with secured facilities by reputable companies offer them, okay? And so you do have, not reputable. So the thing is that these companies have security methods and policies to ensure the safety and privacy of your mail and packages, okay? And in the US, every virtual mailbox provider has to follow strict USPS guidelines, and there are consequences when they fail to keep users' information safe. Okay, so it's important. It's an important criterion. And the 10th criterion I want you to pay attention to before choosing a virtual mailbox provider is ease of use. Okay, so ease of use means what? It means that you want to look at the target audience. Who can benefit from using this service? Well, everyone can find one or more benefits from this service. It's not a product that will benefit just one party, okay? So if you're an entrepreneur, if you are a freelancer, if you're just a traveler, you will love a virtual mailbox service. So virtual mailboxes for entrepreneurs are designed to professionally serve ambitious business owners, entrepreneurs, businesses that seek overseas presence, and home-based businesses. Moreover, virtual mailboxes are ideal, in our view, for business people who travel around to meet customers and partners, and for industries to reduce office cost and space. Okay, so virtual mailboxes value your time and save your effort. So really, like your business card, website, and marketing materials can receive a distinguished real address in the U.S. For example, the virtual mailing address provider receives your mail, scan it. So they'll receive your mail, they will scan it, they'll forward it, and they will store it for you. So besides, it keeps you connected with your customers and expands statewide. So this is kind of cool. If you're a freelancer, if you are working out of a co-working space, having a virtual mail service is a way to avoid having mail delivered to your home address. Okay, this is helpful for those business owners who don't want to get reliable mail service or package delivery at home. If you're a traveler, if you travel a lot, this could be also a great opportunity for you because, hey, listen, a virtual mailbox service does all the work, all the legwork for you. All you have to do is just log in daily to see what kind of mail you'll receive. So that's just fantastic. If you have made it so far, I really want to give you a bonus here, and I really want to go a little granular because it's important to understand that when you have a mailbox service, you do have access to a constellation of services. A lot of folks are kind of scared about the pricing and also the security, and I think I addressed those two issues. A digital mailbox is very secure. It's very safe, okay? And there are other benefits. Okay. One thing I want to say here is that when we talk about virtual office, we're speaking about a process that allows you or a business to maintain a presence in an area while having remote workers and not paying rent for physical office locations. Okay, and there are a lot of benefits that come with that. Let me just give you a few of those benefits. First of all, you can acquire an actual business address because a virtual address allows businesses to establish their presence in a physical location and present themselves in a professional light. Your address works just the same as a physical office address. You can use your virtual address on your website, marketing materials, company documents, etc. And a virtual address can also allow you to expand your business further down the road as you plan on scaling your business. So this is kind of cool. So this is number two. You are able to work remotely yourself and also your team. Okay, so you don't want to actually face the traffic jam, rush hour or whatever. No. You're working from home. This is kind of cool. You have the ability to tap into bigger and better talent pool because hey, listen, if you have a virtual address, you don't have to just limit yourself to the state where you currently are at right now. You can tap into pools of talents in India, in China, in Africa, in Europe. So the world is just openless for you. It's not openless. The world is boundless for you. It's limitless for you. Okay. You are able to run a paperless business. This is kind of cool because with the virtual office, you don't have to worry about the cost of paper or office supplies. A virtual office will allow you to run your business paperless. Just invest in office tools and software to support your business without the use of paper. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So document management software systems will assist you in growing your paperless business. Okay, it's kind of cool. And also think about you have the ability to get virtual business support. This is kind of cool also in the long run. Okay, because a virtual mailbox serves as your mini virtual assistants. After removing junk mail, they will digitize each piece of your incoming post mail, paper checks, and important documents so you don't have to. This will make your mail readily available to you 24/7 online from your phone, tablets, or laptop at your convenience. So this is kind of cool. You can also receive a high-resolution PDF featuring the interior and exterior of your mail that you can easily forward to anyone in your network. So this is kind of cool. And a virtual mailbox also has a feature to set up automatic check deposit requests, securely shred or store mail in the cloud. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about ways you can evaluate the right digital mailbox for you. I want you to look at the number of addresses they have. So by the number, I mean also the variety also, okay? The mobile app, the check deposit features, account security, mail storage, integrations, overage fees, price, safety, ease of use. This is kind of important. Thank you. God bless you. I'll see you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.